Alrighty, hey guys. Sorry, I had intentions of joining sooner, but I got caught up in a couple things. Figure I come jam, try to wrap some stuff up, see where I'm at with the backrooms export from last night. Just checking something here, see the stream, make sure it's working. Looks like we're good to go. Spaceman. Blender, backrooms, exports, show options. Alrighty, let's see where we're at. Well, those flickers are gone. That's good. Definitely a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that motion. Oh no, our cable's too messed up. Our cable is too messed up. Our cable is too messed up. What if we change this to 24 frames? I think that's actually what it is. Should slow stuff down, hopefully. Yeah, too fast still. Oh, and our cable. But our oil man kind of came out pretty good. Man, it sucks about the cable. I don't remember it looking like that. I don't remember this being like that. If it was just that, it would have been fine. But now, yeah, gotta re-export it. Or maybe we could just export. No, we'd have to re-export from here. Might as well just do the whole thing again, keep it consistent. What's probably happening is I probably had another layer turned on. Poop. Well, looks like we aren't working on that other project at the moment. Hmm. Hey, how's it going, buddy? I'm doing well, doing well. How about yourself? Thanks for coming by. First chat. I feel like I've seen you around before. Unless you're going to be here for a little bit and we could actually jam and chat. Don't need all these from yesterday. Actually, we can just close this. We don't need this right now. So what is going on with our phone cable? Why do we have two? Silly boy. Silly boy. Just one little small error. Hey, Split Specs. Thanks for coming by, dude. Sorry for the late stream. I know you're probably just pushing bedtime there, but I appreciate you coming by, saying hi. I was a little late today. I was trying to export where we are with the backrooms. This is where the export's at. And unfortunately, we got a mistake, so I got to fix it. But hopefully after this, we're calling it done. Got a little bit of fast motion, not too happy with, but the two phone cords, unfortunately. I just realized I had a render layer turned on that shouldn't have been on. So that's why we have the double phone cord. Otherwise, I probably would have been happy and okay with it. This new oil stuff's pretty cool. The face comes out really quickly, but I think it works. I could save myself and not export the first 4 seconds. But I think I'm just going to make the changes and then hop over to my actual other project with the roads and then just export this over the next 2 days. Unless there's any major changes that you guys can see if you're still here. This project is just a personal project. There's a series called The Backrooms that Kane Pixels, a YouTuber, created. And since I'm new to Blender, I figured I'd create an episode for that world, that space. So this is what this is for. It's just a personal project I'm trying to wrap off and get off my plate. So that way I can focus on client 3D work that's coming in that I'm currently working on, and then my own personal project, which I really want to jam about with you on, because it seems like you're a little bit of a modeler. I went back and watched your video again and was really impressed by it. So anyways, another day. We don't have to get into that tonight, but definitely thanks for coming by, saying hi. Hopefully my project is cool. If you have any 2 cents, let me know before you bounce. But each backrooms has an entity, so kind of last minute. This was originally black oil, but then I found this kind of slime material in my collection and slapped that on, and it was looking a little bit better. And then I was able to kind of bring in my oil man that I initially wanted to bring in, but we just see him quickly at the end there. Could be a little bit slower, but yeah, not bad for a first kind of project, but do you want to get it off my plate and move on to the next? So that's where I'm at, and yeah, I just had to toggle thing to fix the cord. Looks like we're good to go now. So I just have to re-export. And call that one a wrap. And then now go back to this scene. This scene, I am motion tracking aerial footage and trying to rebuild a road system. Got the motion track, other than I need to fix the perspective kind of on this side of the road because it's clearly drifting. You can see it in the grass there. It's hard to tell with the trees elevation, but here it seems to be fine. But and then I just randomly, or not randomly, but half-assed it and just pushed my road off into the distance, but I should fix that. So that's probably what I'm going to be working on for the next hour or two. See where I get. But this will be the main kind of focus, main project in the coming weeks, months. in between working on my personal project, the David codename. I don't know what to call it yet. I'm torn between a couple different names, but this will be the nighttime, and then this will be the daytime. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That it's not noticeable until till I slow mo it. But yeah, and then the other thing was I didn't. The rig, his hands are up like that. His hands should actually be up when the face comes out. Like, oh my god, get away from me! But I didn't bother changing my rig. But I wanted to fix the timing of stuff, so I should maybe really put a little bit more time into it. I'm wondering if I maybe just spend the rest of my night and do that. But I really should probably, no, I'm going to put a little time into this. Because this is, I'm not happy with this, and I'm not sure he's going to show the client with it looking like this. Yeah, good point. Especially because in the prequel that I have in my mind, he's working on a satellite dish on the outside in space. So maybe there's an element that his hands are kind of like oily or something. What am I trying to do? Because I'm trying to go here. That's what I was trying to do. Too many programs open. Materials. I did have the dust. I was playing around with dust. And actually I had particles in the air, like mold particles that I've kind of been rambling about. But I didn't enable them. So maybe I can enable them on the next one, because that really helped. Also fog. I had it in a fog environment. I might slap that back in there. Helps with the lights. But yeah, the material stuff. So I'm assuming that would be like painting, right? I'd have to go into the material texture painting and then kind of paint over whatever the hand is with some stuff. I'm assuming that's how that's done. I keep going back here. I'm gonna go here. The other thing, the hands aren't actually on the wall. Like, he is actually pretty far away from the wall. It's just the way that the camera is. So I'm not going to redo it, but what I actually would have, doing this, I realized what I should have done was the wall should have been a rigged body, and then I don't know what you call it, rigged body the fingers, and then that way when the hand makes contact with the wall, it doesn't like penetrate through it, right, clip through it, and I could have just easily done it that way versus animating it. But that's what I learned from doing this project. Also the hand on the right. But what I really like is I'm pointing at it like I could just use the mouse. What I really like is like the reflections inside the helmet. I thought that was kind of cool. And then, way too jerky motion. But my problem that I'm having, I can't slow this down because when I have the phone being picked up, I'm using a whole nother system to pick up the phone. And I can't easily like move the whole timestamp. I have to kind of redo it. So I'm kind of penciled into anything that comes before it. I can't really do a whole lot of time. Like, I could split the difference between everything to buy time here, but we're gonna chalk it to amateur hour. Which, I hate doing. The lights flicker. The light flicker I do want to do. I was trying to do like the number sign frame or whatever it is. Like in After Effects, you can have expressions, right, where it's just random jumping around. So we could do that to the lights. The other thing too is I was thinking about the lights. The lights are at 1 power. but maybe the lights are off and it's not until he picks up the phone and we hear a scream. I still have to maybe do that too. I forgot about all that. That's when the lights start to flicker, kind of like Silent Hill type stuff. Slow it down and render. I feel like it's just going to go choppy. Like if we go, it's already, well, maybe not. Give me a second. I should be doing this in After Effects, but I just Premiere for some reason. Modify, interpret footage, 23.976. And let's see if that buys us some time. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. I was worried about flickering, but that definitely helps. There we go. There we go. Let's smooth that out a little bit. Nice. Good call. Good call. Oh yeah, way better. Nice. How about the oil man? Do we need to buy time for him, or has he got enough with this? Probably more, right? And then obviously probably fix the hands. Maybe have the hands do the whole like, oh my god. But yeah, that is probably a better speed, and it's not too choppy. And I realized that I think I twisted the arm around one iteration, so he's got like a twisted arm technically, which I think you kind of see snap back into position right here. Slow down more by the oil man. Okay, so slow him down still. But that's a pretty cool element, eh? The oil man coming out like that. One thought too that I would love to do is he's not rigged. I'm half-assing it. I tried to rig him, but it wasn't going too hot. But say when he rolls back over, that the oil man's actually like has the phone or something, looking over at him, or turns and looks at him. Yeah. Particles in there could help. Yeah, the volumetric definitely. Well, let's get in there. Let's get back in there. Let's get back in there. One project at a time. This can wait. Technically, they said, looks good. Great, man. Thanks. But I don't know if you actually saw my export, so we can always just chalk it to, oh, I thought you said everything was good. Don't worry, I'll spend today. We'll show them tomorrow. Sorry, I'm just thinking about a game plan in my head. But we can probably spend some time later on it. She's definitely a big project, pushing 3 gigs or whatever, so it takes a little bit to open. But yeah, the volumetric, that's going to probably add some rendering time though, right? I haven't tested that. And the particles, that's why I guess I haven't been exporting them, is because I assume it's going to add some render time. But you can play around with it for a bit, see what happens. Come on now. Sorry, yeah, I should probably give you the full screen with the volumetrics on. Like, we might not even need like the particles, could just probably do something like this. Yeah, no, I'm pretty good. I have trap code particular and all that stuff. So if I wanted, I could just do that in After Effects. And it actually probably look a lot better. That's one thing I haven't liked about Blender so far is the visual effects, plugins, add-ons that I've gotten. I'm like, I'd rather just do it myself in Blender. Or go back to After Effects and my experience in After Effects. But a part of me wants to like, I don't know. There's part of me that should have a workflow between the two, but part of me also just wants to keep it all in-house in one program. But yeah, I'd probably make it a lot better. And the other thing that I can do awesome too, do pretty cool in After Effects as well, is like depth of field. So like I could easily rack focus this whole scene a little bit better than maybe I could in Blender. I know you can do it in Blender, but I just don't know how to do it easily. Whereas in After Effects, I could whip that up no problem with the tool belt that I have. But yeah, the volumetrics, that's on. It's off. Just a subtle, very subtle. It's not to the degree where we have like the rays coming off the light. Just more of a kind of a, I don't know what I was trying to go for. Dusty. But it's only applied to the last room, I think. It's not applied to the whole thing. Sorry. What I was thinking was like that mist, right? The morning mist or the Halloween mist coming out from the bottom of the door. Because technically I actually have a gap along the outside of the ridge in this room. Because I have, my initial attention was like, oh, vines coming out. Oh, then water coming out. And then doing the volumetrics, I did have a thought that I was like, oh, how cool would it be? Like dry ice, smoke comes out. Between the three. But yeah, there's a lot of ideas, but technically that's a mistake in the video right now because that should be all a wall guard. Actually, I don't have anything installed at the moment. I was going to go into After Effects and play around with some of the stuff I was just talking about, but I haven't reinstalled all my plugins. So it's going to be a pain in the butt that I don't want to put you guys through. But volumetrics, what else did we talk about? We talked about stuff on the hand. Oh, the particles. I want to see where those are at. I think I might have deleted them, but there's a inbuilt add-on called Camera Rigs. I have a thing called Cinepack where they have like preloaded camera rigs that you can drop in and modify. Weird. It's the thing about developers, right? Developers, they're not good at marketing their stuff. They're just, they're there to build it and let other people refine it. Oh, excuse me. I'm not gonna probably watch it now, but bookmark it to onboard. Yeah, there was a tutorial to show you how to do that anime thing there. That was a cool watch. Okay, yeah, stuff like this I definitely need to... You can create controllers. I would love to be able to rig up my stuff and gamify everything, right? That's what I love about the Kit Bash stuff, is the gamify. That's what I liked about After Effects, essentially, when you rig up some of those puppet characters. It gets really fun that way. Not having as much fun rigging Spaceman or animating Spaceman. 3D is a lot more than 2D rigging. Or animating, sorry, not rigging, animating. They're about the same work. Yeah, they're about the same work. A little more to the 3D when you're doing materials and binding. So yeah, a little bit more work. Never mind. But thanks. Yeah, I'll jam on that. That looks like something that I should definitely onboard and utilize. Especially here, because my Spaceman is parented to my camera, so If I could have just gamified the camera, then I would have just been able to animate my spaceman maybe a little bit better. But you live and you learn. Particles. Is it working? Yes, it is. Particles. For some reason, I feel like I deleted them. I should have just put them in here. Yeah, we don't have them anymore. What was it that I was using for that? No, that was for the to put dust on things. Well, I can't remember the name of it. I don't think it was that. I thought I bought something. I think it was that. No. I don't think it was that. Yeah, I like trap code particulars way better. Sorry. Yeah, I don't think it was that. I had something that looked really cool. Yeah, I think it was this one, yeah. I think it was this one. Cool, man. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for the little tip. Catch you later. Have a good night. Yeah, sorry for the delay. It looks like I gotta reinstall it. Aged effects. Oh, there we go. We have to tell it where to go. That's why it was giving me an error. Now, hopefully it'll work. Oh, excuse me. See how that looks? There's supposedly particles there. It might just take a minute to render. See a couple, possibly. But yeah, these should just be subtle anyways. But I'm curious how much render time it's gonna add. Oh. Sorry. Grab a couple of cookies to snack on. Actually, I should probably grab a water. Let that render. Do a victory lap, BRB. Well, it's not looking like we're getting a lot of visibility on those particles. There. And there's lots of them. I just like, where are they? I only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's definitely taking a while to render. Woo! She be blowing. Let's turn those down before I melt my graphics card. Okay, well that's why. My map is pretty tiny. Just trying to get it as small as I can, so that way, hopefully it's not going to chew up a lot of rendering time. And the reality is we're only living here, so I don't really need to do meow. Oh, ah, that scared me. That's probably going to scare you guys. Whoopsies. Let's not put that on top of the computer. Oh, it's playing from there. I want to play from back here. Hmm. I clicked dust particles, so that's probably just for on top of stuff. And then yeah, okay. I was thinking I maybe had like metal dust, like if you're working on a shop or something, these were metal flakes, but I don't know why we have one. It's weird. It's tripping me out because I definitely went down to here, but maybe I had that selected when I did that. Actually, no, I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna bother. I'm worried I just messed this up. No, it looks like we're still good. I think I'm putting a little too much effort into it. I mean, I don't want it super thick, but I just can't seem to get the right balance I'm looking for. Sorry, I haven't really been too talkative. Just doesn't want to seem to populate. Oh, because I've also got keyframes on, so that doesn't help. sucks about the that extra phone cord. Like we're getting a couple, it seems like, but I want like, what do I want? I don't know, maybe it's not as prevalent as I thought. That or your camera doesn't pick it up. Like there's usually like light rays or something, right? Coming out of like dusty. Not quite. Yeah, I guess it's not like not as prevalent as I thought. Maybe I'm thinking like zombie video games, like I don't know, The Last of Us. Like, oh no, radiation, we gotta put on our mask, and then like they walk through particles, and like particles are sticking to the goggles. Like, what the heck am I thinking? I know I've seen it before. I thought it was a thing. Anyways, I think it's been too much time on that when I probably, even though it's a good idea, I just don't think it's going to be worth the render time. We could put the time into Oilman, fix him up a bit. If anything, we're probably just good with the volumetrics. Creates that foggy. I guess with just the minimal particles, it'll be fine. And this is probably why we're not seeing them. What is going on here? Holy, come on. Get it together. I think that should be plenty. Oh, and it's also going to go inside the mask. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do this. Good idea, but bad execution. In the meantime, while that loads, I'm gonna just clean up some of my YouTube stuff. Yeah, that one should be fine. Well, it's looking a little better. We got a handful more particles. Is it enough particles? Maybe. If we can get a couple more populating over here, we should be fine. That's kind of more, yeah, like that's kind of more what I was going for. Hopefully that works. Get a couple more on the left. Oh, man. I got like this kink in the back. Just can't seem to get rid of. Oh, we got one coming in. Another one, yeah. One here, one down here. Particle emission. I think they're a little too dominant. Oh, those make it glow. We don't want that. Though maybe we could put like 001. 001. Seems a little thick in the middle, but maybe it also has to do with the light being shined on it. Tweak this a little bit, then we'll do Oil Man, make that a little slower. And then we'll call it here, and then pivot over to the street for an hour or two, see if we can tweak that better. If we can, then export that first for tomorrow. Update, export, Vimeo. Yeah, we're a little late to the game today. Especially since I might be having company tonight. Let's scale this down a bit. I think there might be a little too much. And then I also want to see population on the left side or right side. Like, it's so weird. It seems like it like just goes on, right? Oh, and it looks like I forgot to turn the glass on. Weird. Normally I can't see in that mode, but it looks like the glass is on. See what that looks like. It's probably looking a little better out of the gate so far, but it takes a couple seconds, couple frames. Where are we at? Looking better, looking better. Give it a couple more. I don't think it's done yet. Okay, thinking that's probably pretty good. Sorry, I'm on my other computer, kind of tackling a couple other things as well. Just gonna flip through a couple more frames. And Oilman, can't forget to take a look at Oilman, give him a couple more frames, keyframes if we can, slow him down. All these private ones. Just remove the description for now. Yeah, I think that's probably the ballpark I'm looking for. As long as it's consistent. As long as it's consistent and we actually, I'm worried. Oh yeah, I'm worried it's gonna go through the mask. Probably shouldn't export. It's definitely adding some render time. Yeah, let's maybe pass on the particles. I'm taking a little bit too much time on particles. We're gonna maybe do the volumetrics. Actually, let's turn those back on, sorry. And then turn these off. And just in case. Don't want to have to re-export. Those can go in here. And then where's the volumetric fog? That's where it is. view's killing me. Okay, hopefully we got her now. With, without, with. Is it even working? Is it even working? Feel like whatever we did didn't work. Yeah, didn't work. This to go here. This to go here. And then that should fix it. Okay, that should fix this, hopefully. Sorry for the small window, I didn't mean to do that. With fog, without fog. With fog, without fog. Gray, black in the background. If you look at the, over here, column, black. Gray. And we can see the light being pronounced a little bit more. Yeah, I think the volumetrics helps. But do we do it to the whole thing? With, without, with. Obviously it gets cleaned up a little bit, but you can see the dramatic difference now. And with the particles. Let's not use the particles. Okay, now let's take a look at the oil medium. Do a couple tweaks there. And maybe try to do the hand as well. See if we can just push those over a little bit so that he lines up to when the face is coming in. Oh yeah, he's still over there. Can we add more time to the camera? Can we do that without dominating? Oops. Oops. The volumetrics changes it a little bit too. Looks like his head's kind of clipping a bit. Might have to change these keyframes up. You can see the face, the head, have a face emerging out of the oil liquid. Come on. Come on. Weird. Okay, let's stop doing that. We don't want to be making too much of a mess. It's in the proximity, but I kind of want his head more like directly looking at him. So we might have to tweak it a bit still. It doesn't look like we're seeing him here yet, so this is where we could probably buy some time. If we can figure these keyframes out. See how this looks. See how this looks. Sorry about that. Okay, there's his face there. So that one's fine. Kinda. And it's happening so fast anyways, I don't think it matters. As long as this one's fine and the last one's fine. This is where I want to kind of maybe look at the hands. That's what I'm worried about. It's like that. We don't want to see them quite yet. But maybe it'll work out. Hands. Hands are already up. Just do some kind of other motion in between these keyframes. Actually, we can probably maybe grip one of them. Hey National, good to see ya. Sorry for my late broadcast. I had a late broadcast myself, so no worries on that front. Don't imagine it's going to be a super long one today, but I wanted to get the stream in. Can show you where the export ended up finishing it. That's why I kind of was a little bit late. We had 30 frames to go, and it took an extra hour and a half longer than I anticipated. But unfortunately, it looks like I had one of my old phone cords still turned on, and I forgot to turn it off for the render. So we have an error in our video, but fix that, tweaking a couple things, leveling it up a little bit since we have to do something anyways. But this is where I ended up with the export. Fully watch it back. Fixed a bit of the flickering, I guess, just by upping the resolution. The resolution was too low. I still got some fast keyframes, but I slowed it down to 24 frames, and it's definitely a lot more easier to take in than the previous exports. And our little our oil man, I'm just going to give him a little bit more time, but I'm definitely digging the new water. It's looking pretty cool. And then him popping out should be a pretty epic add to it. But yeah, we do kind of have some weird wonkiness at the end here because the water goes through his mask. So we may have to finish it a certain way in After Effects. But that's where we're at. Turned out pretty good, I think. Just a couple more things. I'm okay with the upside down, actually. It's just the other side that's really taken away from it. How you making up with your stuff? Where's your flag and everything at? Oops, sorry. Getting dizzy. Making something else. Okay, looks like we don't see this anyways. Oh man, I don't see a little bit. Volumetric. See what it looks like on this, but might be a little thick. Might be a little thick still. Yup. Rendering done. Yeah, I think the volumetric might just be a little pinch too much. Can I control it from here? Looking like it. Never remember which one's which. Where is this thing? expose mode. That's probably what's going on here. Still not getting to it, but can I gain access to it? Yeah. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. See what that looks like. Getting into the nitty-gritty stuff now. Yeah, see, that's still even a little too strong. Okay, I might go the other way with this. Hurry up and wait. Ugh. Seems to make it more foggy, whatever I did there. Okay, yeah, so going negative is more, what was this, at 0.5 before? Options, options, options. Yeah, went too far back. See here what it looks like. Oh, she's definitely smoky now. On, off, on. Off, or sorry, on, off, on, off. I'm looking at like the cables and the water on the wall. On, off. It's hard to tell, but I see a little bit. I see it. It might be hard for you guys to tell because maybe even the upload quality, broadcast quality. But I say that's done, and now let's double check our oil man, and then I think I might call it for this project because I keep spending time on it when we want to call her done. Get her done. Monster. Yeah. But why is he blanked out? I shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't Okay. This is probably where he's off. And he gets turned on. And then or do we have two of those? Yeah, this is where he might turn on. Okay, this makes sense. This is where he's turning on. But he's turning on a little too late. Say that's him right there, right? Give it a minute, or not a minute, just a couple frames. See, get our bearings. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, well that's where he's definitely emerging from. So from here to here he's emerging. So let's push this stuff back. And let's kill those keyframes because we don't need those. Go back to here, see what it looks like. What are you working on? What's your new thing that you were talking about? If you're back, you're flip-flopping. But yeah, what are you working on? What's your new thing? Apologies for the wind blower if you guys can hear that. They're going to be out there for a bit. Can't pick up a rake. Just got to blow one leaf at a time. Okay, you're back now. Oh, 3D model. What you don't know right now? I think you should look at maybe jazzing up some of your stuff that you've been working on. Like your desert railway, you can drop the train on that. Maybe even animate it. Your snowman, you can bring in maybe some spruce trees. Some of that rock stuff that I was showing you, the rock. Drop some rocks and put snow on top of the rocks with some like pine trees around it. Maybe trees without leaves. That's maybe a good way to start modeling, and then you can figure out how to do the leaves on top of it. Top hat for your snowman. Maybe the arms, you can look at making more twiggy, since if you're going to do the tree, you can also then make a twiggy version of his arm. But yeah, even just the the desert scene, drop in some rocks, 3D rocks. Give your scene some more extrusion, 3D-ness to it versus being like flat planes. Markers on the road, like the yellow lines, the white lines on the road. Can look at maybe adding lights to the railroad system and get them blinking. The gate, get some gates going on that. Some ideas for you, not to say that you have to do that, but maybe try to flesh one project out at a time, or if you feel like you're done, then look on for the next inspiration. Just what are you trying to get to, right? Like what kind of artist do you want to be? If you want to be an architect, then maybe look at houses, maybe houses, that kind of thing. If you'd rather be a world builder, maybe look at trees, water simulation. What I'm doing here, it's pretty simple. It's a little bit to get your head around. Oh, actually your computer, right? Your computer might not handle it. So maybe I do trees. Touching up your Metro train, putting some more bolts and nuts and bolts at the bottom of it. We can look at adding glass to, instead of the material on the side, we can actually add glass. Cut out holes on the side of your box. Beveling so you can get more of a roundness on top. Actually, you might have that already. Sorry, give me a second. Let me double check before. No, it's still kind of flat at the top, so you can maybe look at subdivide and bevel. If you do those, then you can get the curvature on the top of your Metro train. Sidewalks. Modeling. You can start modeling people. The castle stuff that I was doing the other day, yesterday. Maybe look at pushing on castles, because that looked pretty simple, but you can step it up a bit. Oh, yeah, if your volume was muted, I don't think I'm going to say that stuff again. I can't remember what I say, but maybe rewatch YouTube, like scroll back a little bit and just watch that bit. And I won't say a whole lot until I hear back from you. I'll stay focused. But I ran you down some ideas that I think you can level up some of your stuff you've been working on. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, like if you want to get new inspiration, but try to stick with one project and see if you can really make it good, is what I'm kind of getting at. Just like rocks for your desert, rocks for the snowman. You can make the snowman smoother. Maybe a dead tree, and then you can look at twiggy arms for your snowman if you're doing the tree anyways. The castle stuff we were doing yesterday, there's some inspiration there for something new, but it's kind of still in the same ballpark. Trees, I would say maybe try modeling a tree, because that would be the next probably easiest thing. Leaves on a tree. We can also work on, I was talking about bevel your Metro train. We can level your Metro train up by beveling the top of the caboose thing, adding glass instead of the material glass, nuts and bolts at the bottom. Lights on your railway. Add the gates to the desert scene, rocks to the desert scene, paint to the roads, the markers on roads. You can look at HDRIs if you haven't already for maybe some of those scenes. That's something that you can probably get from Blender Market. Or not Blender Market, sorry, Blender Kit, the thing that is in the way. You might be able to find some HDRIs that you can just drag and drop and really make your scenes pop. Though that's when I went down onto my scene on the road and made like the houses and the trees, and we were rotating the camera and it looked really realistic. That's what the HDRI was that. If you remember that part from the other day. I think you were there for that. You're going too far. Yeah, I hope I don't get copyrighted because I really like this track in the background. If it's coming on the mic, it's just super subtle. But it might get flagged because it is technically copyrighted. Oh, give me a second. You got an exit. Oh, maybe no accident. Somebody's burning around the corner, honking. There we go. He's in your face now. This can be a little painful frame by frame, but just want to make sure he's good. Not clipping too hard. We got a little bit of a clip going on, but yeah, I'm probably going to be calling it by 6. Because I got to get some dinner in me and then having some company over, I think, for 7:30. But if they don't come by, then I might be back on. But yeah, this is looking much better so far from what I can tell. Hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait, hurry up. Come on, oil man, do something cool. Do something cool. Uh-oh, this chest is kind of popping out a bit. I'm not liking that. His arm. But I mean, if he's kind of like crawling around, yeah, maybe this might work. And this is like no rigging to him. If he was rigged, I can make this look epic. Him crawling down the, the column. But definitely have to give it more keyframes, more time for keyframes. Which I've kind of already done. Oh, actually in the hands. We want the hands to come up. Not here, a little bit later. I don't want to see him here. Don't want to see him here. Let's just finish this off. Let's see. Because if we don't see him here, yeah, we don't see him here. So these are going to come back. But we're going to go one frame forward than we were before. So it gets turned on here. I think this is where he's coming out. I think that's the top of his head. Sorry, I was getting distracted there. I think that's the top of his head. I feel like that's him there. One more frame forward. Okay, I think we're good. But what I want to try to do is from here, go into this mode, turn those off, go into edit mode. Oops, whoa. Hold up, wait a second. Hold up. Wait a second. What is going on here? Stop. Hiya. Actually, what we can do is view camera. Yeah. Keyframes are being made. Why are they not being made? Insert keyframes. Oh, can you not edit in edit mode? Keyframe in edit mode? You can't edit, you can't keyframe in edit mode. Insert. Doesn't look like it. That's a bummer. Not sure how you would do that. Well, I think we're good. I think we're good to call this. I might hop over to that other project. Oh man, I really want to get going on that one. I feel like I still got to do this, to do that, to get this thing still approved. It's already been 3 weeks, right? It's been more than that, but yeah, come Monday. 3. Been 2 weeks. So I missed out on one paycheck. But them's the breaks. Damn, his head's looking a little funky too, eh? With what I just did. He was looking a lot better before. We still got a bit of the Rastafarian or Rubber Johnny. Not sure if you guys have ever heard of that one. Oh, actually, maybe I shouldn't show that one because it's a mature rated thing. Never mind. Disregard. It's just a artistic piece that I studied in college. Didn't mean to play it. You can still kind of see it happening here, but... Oh, I'm so worried this isn't going to turn out now. I kind of messed up too much. I shouldn't have touched it. Okay. I think we're good. I think I'm overthinking it. Oh, good thing I did that, because that's not what we want. going on with his face, but it is what it is. Eyes, nose, mouth, chin. Eyes, nose, mouth, chin. Okay. Starting to see it now. Oh, the one eye is crazy looking. Yeah, we should be good. We should be good. As long as the hand doesn't go through the column on the way out. And then double check the hands, double check the hands, double check the hands before we go. Okay, so he kind of pieces out by the time he starts to rotate over. Maybe just a pinch sooner. Make the roll more worth it. There, I guess. It's weird how it's just so off, but that's his head right there. So I feel like the arm does go through the wall. I gotta go back frame by frame from here. See where he went, because I have a feeling he's coming through the wall. Here he is, through the wall. Sorry, got something on there. I think there, it's hurting. Should be local, but let's try global. Just want him to go. Shouldn't be doing any of that. arm is definitely clipping. Crap. He just has to go up sooner because it looks like the oil. We can kind of use that to cover his arm. So I think a few frames forward. For the most part, we're good, I think. Just unfortunately here, luckily we toggle it around. I want to fix this so he's not clipping. Oh, excuse me. How do we do that? Thinking we try just editing his armature. Oops. Oh, come on, oil man. We said 6 o'clock. I wanted to do the road. Okay, it's pointed a little too high. That can go back more. Pointed a little high and can go back more. All right, I can also do that, right? Where in edit mode, if I move it, then it's gonna move everything and keep my keyframes. Might save me some time down the road. Hmm. What do we do, Oily? What do we do? What are we doing, Oily? We can rotate you backwards, and that should fix it. Holy Hannah. Ain't working. Ain't working. Making more work for myself. Making work for myself. I don't want to do that. Damn. I ruined a keyframe. Oh, there we go. That's probably a solution. He starts to look away and goes up. Hey Pac, I'm working on a Backrooms episode. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that or not. It's a series created by Kane Pixels. I'm new to Blender, or kind of new to Blender, so I thought I'd use his lore that he's created and other people have created episodes for. If you just search Backrooms, you can see a bunch of different videos. But I'm making my own version of it. This is my second episode, and I'm just trying to put the wrap on it, trying to get this entity creature, liquid creature, to come out and scare our spaceman who's getting tossed around in this room right now. Sorry for not being attentive to the chat there if you're still here. I'm hoping we're done, because I said 6 o'clock. I was going to call it because I got to go eat. I think we might be good. The only thing is the hands. I haven't tweaked. No worries. Yeah, I don't imagine I'm going to be too on much longer myself. I'm just said 6, and then here I am still making adjustments. But I'm just worried that we're not going to see them. Yeah, what's your question? A little bit. I used to be a lot of time in politics, but everything's just a joke now to me. I don't kind of see what the point is, but I'm down to talk them. My buddy is hardcore politics, so I keep a foot in the door just to keep those conversations open. Why? What are you thinking? What are you feeling? What are you saying? Worried about Trump? Hoping Trump gets in? I'm indifferent. I'm a centrist. I'm not politically charged. It's funny. I know more about American politics than I do Canadian politics. Yeah, I have a feeling Trump will. I don't know about destroy, but I think he's definitely got a good chance to be president with a couple assassinations and I haven't finished watching this Joe Rogan interview, but he went on Joe Rogan. I'm not sure if you saw that. And there's been a ripple wave from that, so curious to see how that plays out. Oh, he will destroy democracy. So it sounds like anti-Trump. Oh man, my hand is crushing right now. Yeah, or whoever's actually in charge didn't didn't want him. The first one anyway seemed like they just didn't do their jobs on purpose. And then the second one, yeah, I'm kind of thinking it's more of a publicity because he messed up. He started to turn into Biden a bit, tripping over his words, and he lost his momentum, steam from the first one. So he's like, "Hey, pretend to shoot me again." But I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, like that's the problem with politics right now. It's like, who do you support? You if you don't like either of them, it's just like you got to choose one villain over the other. And I don't know which one's the better villain to choose. Trump already won before. My thing with my buddy was like, he's run before, so it's not the big deal. He was president before, so what's the big deal? Like, I can't say he destroyed America the last time he ran, right? Um, but I don't know. He just leaned on the democracy thing as well. That this time it's not so much about what he'll do in politics. Like as president, it's more the social element that's going to have the ripple effect. And my thing about politicians, it's like if you're a known criminal, you shouldn't be able to be president. Like I don't want to seem like I'm a pro-Trump supporter, but like he should never be president because like he's been convicted of a felony or something, right? Um, that should go for any president. Like what kind of role model is that? Kind of thing is how I kind of look at that. But politics is a business. Yeah, well, I hope I'm using my head because, like, obviously, again, it may sound like I'm pro-Trump, but I'm definitely not. It's just there's some things like I think he ran before. He definitely messed up our economy a bit. My buddies lost their job because of like the tariffs and stuff that he put in. But at the same time, there's other things that he enacted that did well and blah blah blah. And so it's like, but this Harris thing, yeah, I have no idea about Harris. Biden was a joke, and just to swap him out for her, I don't know enough to be like, hey. But again, I'm not an American, so what's it to me? Um, yeah, politics is so dirty, and that's why it's just like I have a hard time following it because it's like how do you stay attached to politics knowing that their politicians are corrupt and they're known to be corrupt? Money corrupts absolutely. The whole Trump being a felon and all that stuff, right? Like, how do you still have faith in politics that your decision, your vote is actually the vote that's going to mark for the person and it's not manipulated through a system? Like, I'm dancing on the line of conspiracies, but I don't know. It just seems like there's, when you look at past elections, like dead people voting, like it, I don't know. There's just, it's really weird. I don't know who they are, but the one problem we're having in Canada right now is in Vancouver. There's a group of people that have basically said like, destroy Canada, destroy the States, destroy Israel. Like they're here to like destroy our countries. Like they've on open mics on front of government buildings saying like, let's destroy everything. So that's like terrorism to me. um, so that's where it's like it's hard to say like those people did come over here, so technically they are destroying our country. But at the same time, you can't deny rights to people who are refugees or immigrants and stuff, right? There's still the human right aspect that we have to give to everybody. But it's so where I struggle because it's like we have to look at the reality of things, and if people are openly saying like, yeah, terrorism, maybe we have to like vet people a little bit more, especially in Canada, because it's known we've let terrorists in our country, and it's just like, how is this happening? So, not that I'm anti X race. It's just if you if you come over here and you're trying to destroy the country you're coming to, I'm sure it's happening in America as well. That it's like how can we support that? But I don't know. Maybe I don't know enough about it. Sorry, that was a little bit of a rant, but I'm definitely having some difficulties with seeing the let's terrorize, and then being other people on the other side being like, yeah, it's okay, they should be allowed to do that. It's scary to me. Free speech, they're allowed free speech, but then at what point does free speech become like a weapon? Which I feel like it's becoming weaponized between in politics, definitely weaponized in politics, hence why I'm stepping away from it, because I'm just like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm not that person. I don't want to be charged by something that has no influence on me. Is how I look at it, but I don't want to like discourage or talk shit about other people's kind of passions, because it is a passion, right? Like it's no different than a sport. It's just, I guess there's a lot more on stake than a hockey game, right? It's our country at risk. So that's why there's a reason that you should be educated, or at least mindful of the events that are happening. Yeah, flaw in security. So like again, like it's not the people, it's flaw in security, right? So to paint it over as a certain, to your point, I guess, to bring it back, like to paint that problem as a specific race, that's not right. Like you can't do that, right? Blame security, because security was the one that ultimately let individuals in, right, despite their background or race or whatever, right? So but me as a white person, it's a difficult conversation to have, right? I like to think that I can speak openly about how I perceive things, but I maybe my privilege is getting ahead of me, right? Because I'm definitely a little bit privileged where, yeah, in my situation. So I recognize that. But I also don't want to be labeled as like, oh, your success is only because you're white. And it's like, what? Like, you don't know my life. I have struggled in my life, right? Not to the degree of people across in like Africa. Like I'm definitely not that, but yeah, grew up rough a little bit, didn't have money, and compared to other people, that kind of thing, right? So, anyways, getting off sidetrack. But yeah, again, he's broad stroking it, and then that incites violence, and so that's where I agree with my buddy. But again, like, well, maybe the Capitol riots, right? The Capitol riots, I could say, would probably be, you could pinpoint to him. So if that happened last time, what's going to happen this time? Is his xenophobia going to be like so extreme that he's going to start like locking people up and throwing them in ovens like the history books have told us? I hope to God it's not like that. If it is, then obviously like everybody needs to band together, right? But yeah, I hope we don't experience that kind of shit again, because that was a terrible point in human history. That is just mind-boggling that we that happened. But anyways, getting sidetracked. But yeah, what's your point? Are you just worried about Trump? That's what you kind of want to talk about, or was there any other kind of politic point that you wanted to bring up? Because I'm down to chat, as long as I'm not offending or getting you emotionally charged. Don't want my number fan to be my number one hater. Yeah, sorry, I definitely hijacked that conversation. I did not mean to do that. Um, yeah, let me know about your point. I'm just gonna pick away here while you write your point, and then I'll respond. Actually, I think we can probably kill it a little sooner. 174, 1074. And then oily. Oily in hands. Keep doing this over and over again. Yeah, yeah, I wondered about that. That was one organization that was kind of interesting. When it first started, I was definitely kind of supporting it, but then the Nazis got behind it, and I was like, what was his name? Gavin. Oh, what's his last name? He was the one that kind of started the group, and he left like as soon as the Nazis came in. He's like, I'm out. I am not. I didn't create the group to create Nazis. Proud Boys, I think, was essentially like men, right? Like, be proud to be a man, celebrate being a man. Because one of the conversations lately is it's just like toxicity and stuff, right? And the Proud Boys, that's what happened. The Nazis came in and it was like pure masculinity, toxicity, right? Um, yeah, that was definitely that was a shameful thing. And then to be attached to that, to initially promote it, like when it first came out, and then it became Nazis. I was like, oh man, this isn't looking good for me. And then have like Trump like attached to it. It's like, well, does that mean he has Nazi ties if he's got Proud Boy ties? But the guy that started it was behind like Vice. He started Vice and then left Vice because of what Vice became, and then did the Proud Boys, and then I think he has his own like podcast series of podcasts that he does now, if he's still doing it. Gavin McGinnis. Took me a second to remember. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely got pretty scary. The march that happened, seeing the video of it, I'm just like, holy moly! I'm for free speech, but come on, boys, like, yeah. How you think you could like do that? I don't know. But what the best thing about that was is it brought it to light, right? Like, as much as that's the one negative thing that Trump did positively, is that we didn't realize how racism was ingrained in everything. I think prior to when Trump came around, it was like touch pussy and all that stuff or whatever. I was grabbing by the pussy. And then the Proud Boys and stuff, it really became apparent like how many people are racist, right? And I think the cockroaches started coming out of the woodwork. So as negative and shitty as that was, that happened, it was kind of a good thing because it brought the cockroaches to the light, right? And now we're kind of doubling down on making sure that those people aren't aren't the ones with the microphone. Gavin McInnes. Thank you. Yes. That dude. But yeah, he's an example maybe of toxic masculinity. Some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth is definitely pretty strong. But I can't say he's a Nazi, but maybe. Well, I've been just flickering around, so I think that's good. I think that's good. I think he's there. He's doing his own thing. Fascism. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely recited a bit of that type of literature. I feel like he was quoting some of the stuff. But yeah, probably another person. Like again, like how do you define free speech? How do you define free speech? Because obviously, you're more American than I am. And I'm curious, like, how can you say one thing? How can you allow free speech but then deny speech? And I have my own perspective of it, which I've kind of voiced, but where's your line? How do you stand to those morals? Being able to say what you want without suppression. So that's what I'm kind of hinting at, right? Like, I don't support it, but like, if you're saying free speech, any speech should be allowed. But then if there's the Proud Boys marching down the street saying, "Hey, we should kill black people and put Jews," right? Like, that's a form of free speech, but we shouldn't be allowing that, right? In my opinion. So like, how do you draw the line for that? Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, there's the delay. Also, I just re-asked you the same question you responded to. The line is, you're censoring people if they're speaking out against you, giving students bad grades for being a certain race, etc. Censoring people, they're speaking out against you, giving students grades for being a certain race. The line is, if you're censoring people if they're speaking out against you, giving students bad grades for being a certain race. Well, we're making a little bit of jump here, so that's why I'm kind of repeating it, because I'm just trying to understand your perspective. The line is, if you're censoring people, because what I'm hearing in that message is like the Nazis have their own version of how they want reality, right? But then people are saying, hey, you shouldn't be saying that, so that you're suppressing their free speech. Just because you don't agree with what they're saying, like, I don't know, there's a line, right? Like, it's hypocritical is what I'm kind of hinting at. Again, I don't agree with what they're saying, but if you're allowing free speech and you're saying suppression of free speech is not allowed, then that's what's happening. But they're obviously inciting violence, so. And then the grade thing, I don't quite understand the grade thing. Like, I don't. Yeah, like, violence. Like, I feel like free speech starts to get locked up when you're inciting violence. Like, that's where, like, why would you want a reality with violence? But then again, that's my, yeah. So the grade thing, you're saying because there's proof that just because you're Muslim, you're getting low grades? Because I was wondering if maybe you were talking about like the African American type like grade situation that's going on there. Because there was a whole thing about But I don't think that was racism. That was just over money. Like there was teachers, like yeah, it was a money thing, and I don't know if that was strictly a racist thing. Giving students back grades for yeah. But are those individuals like are you just going by what they say and you're believing them? Because like what's not to say they just didn't do their schooling properly. They didn't test properly. They didn't study properly. And then they're saying, well, there's this anti-hate against immigrants, so then I'm going to use that as a camouflage to say why I'm getting low grades, right? When they're not taking responsibility for not doing the schooling that they should have done. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, no, definitely like that. That's where they would definitely, yeah, like no matter what kind of race you are, right? Like if the teacher is KKK, then you're automatically painted over. So, okay, I'm making the connection now. So, like if you have like Trump in power, then you're going to have teachers in power, and then it's just going to kind of triple down the system, right? Cops. That's kind of what's happening now with cops, right? There's that racism in enforcing that is quite blatant. Not that every case is like that, but you can definitely see how they're targeting race in that situation. So interesting. Education. Yeah, no, you make a fair point. That's a fair point. Yeah, okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. But you see where I'm coming from? I didn't understand the KK thing. I should have waited, but because I made the assumption that maybe when students complain about grades, it's like, well, I don't know if it's your race thing. Maybe you just didn't study properly. But in your example, yeah, for sure, 100%. Um, but not every teacher is a KKK member, so um, to automatically assume every single Muslim getting low grade is because of KKK is wrong, right? Not to say it's not happening, but you can't label it that way. No different than Trump labeling the conversation we had about Trump labeling, right? That's where the hypocrisy comes in my opinion. But it's hard, right? It's hard to stay true to because you have your own beliefs and then you have to check your beliefs. And then when your beliefs get checked, then your ego gets into play. And then, yeah, it's tricky. Okay. I think we're done. I'm gonna go throw some pizza in the microwave. You drop your thoughts. I definitely took control of the steering wheel on that conversation again. But yeah, I hope that teacher got caught. I hope he got punished if it was actually like proven. And then what does that mean for the student? Wouldn't the student's grades get redacted if that was chosen, or because? Yeah, I'm curious about that. Like, what happens in that situation? Hmm. That's where the white privilege kind of comes in. Because my one buddy, who was white, it was interesting. He said something along the lines of like, because they caught a black governor helping other black individuals, and then she got caught, and then she was being prosecuted. And then we were talking about how that happens everywhere because he was just targeting like this is why immigration, this is why you can't have people of color be politicians and stuff, Muslims, blah blah blah. And we're like, dude, like it happens to white people. He's like, no, it doesn't. It never happens. And it's like, dude, how can you be that ignorant? Like, it's because you don't hear about it because of quiet stuff, right? They have the ability, for whatever reason, to be like, okay, just leave. We'll pay you out. And then the media doesn't get a hold of it, right? So that's definitely where our white privilege comes in. For whatever reason, you don't hear about these KK teacher things, right? But if a black person or a Muslim person, right, it fits the agenda for politicians and CNN and all those news outlets, right, which some people buy into, like my buddy, unfortunately. But he's open-minded. It's just unfortunate he sees something, eats it, right, and it takes him a bit to be like, oh, actually, shit, I ate the wrong thing, right. So that's where maybe the Trump thing would get a little scary, is because a lot of people are just eating anything he shovels out, right. To kind of full circle back to the start of the politician thing. But yeah, we were a little bit shocked by that. But yeah, he didn't believe that white people had the ability to abuse their power. Sorry, maybe she was helping people. I don't know the situation exactly, but it seemed like this woman had been abusing her power, and then she was being put on display because it fit the narrative of the politicians and CNN and blah blah blah, right? So, but yeah, to the white people thing, yeah, like it happens all the time. It's just you don't hear about it, and if you believe it doesn't happen, it's like you're nuts. It happens. So, my pizza. I'm gonna check. Oh shoot! I was gonna say I'm probably gonna bounce myself. Might as well get this exporting. Frames. RC4. Oops. Cool. I think I'm gonna clock out National. I got some pizza here that I'm gonna eat, and then I have some company coming over. I think for 7. So I'm probably gonna call her a night. I'm gonna render out Spaceman again. 7ish, maybe. So I may be back on if he's not coming by. But yeah, thanks for coming by. Thanks for chatting. Hopefully I didn't offend. Hopefully, how do you feel about my views? Like, is there anything that I need to check about myself? Because the last thing I want is to make myself not the best light person on YouTube. But yeah, politics are hard, right? Because I don't want to offend anybody. That's my last thing. But I do have my own opinions about it. But that's why I said I kind of stay out of it, because I tend to offend people when I talk about politics. So apologies if I've offended you. Cool. I enjoy conversation, and by the end of the day, as long as we can come to an agreement about disagreements or whatever, right? Which I don't think we are. I think it sounds like we're on the same page about stuff. It's just that I felt like I said some things I shouldn't have said because I wasn't educated enough about it. So I just need to be more mindful of that. Yep, stay civil. Like if you have these heated conversation, as long as you can keep civil about it, hopefully that's all that matters. And the person is not promoting violence, so and I'm not promoting violence. I'm trying to get us away from violence. So cool. That's awesome. Well, that's good. I don't want to lose, like I said earlier, don't want to lose my number one fan, become a number one hater. So, but anyways, I think it's a good time to call her a night. And next stream, probably tomorrow. I don't know when. Um, Probably 10, 11 my time. Hopefully. I know I said this afternoon and I was a little bit late, but yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully we're not throwing heat at each other. Or the number one hater, maybe. But yeah, dude, check you later. Have a good one. Peace.